Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Starting my week 6 off with a ARCA series race here at Legacy Michigan International Speedway. Not going to be a good start. This is actually my second attempt. The first one, I just drove like a complete idiot. I got into two different people and they were both avoidable, both completely my fault. Likely going to get protested. I mean, they were to me more mistakes rather than like egregious errors, but I don't know if iRacing is going to see that way, so could end up possibly getting put on vacation. We'll see. This race did not start any better. We are not running up in the front. Went out too late for qualifying, torched the exit off of turn 4, got the car too loose, trying to push it, and didn't have enough time to reset to get lap 2, and just got frustrated rather than trying to get some slow time. I decided to just park it and start the back. So we're starting 17th, 21 cars. Probably better because I'm not very good at all. I just cannot figure out how to have pace and still tire save. I can either do pace and torch the tires, or I can tire save and be way off the pace and get eaten up, which is what happened in the first race. Beat myself up really badly for that one. They're mistakes I should never make. I killed all the progress I made last week. All the positive that I was talking about, running consistent lines and not worrying about finishes and all that, that just all went away. So I guess the only thing I could take out of it was I tried to apologize and say I was sorry for it, and unfortunately nobody seemed to care about that, and they all just, I don't know, I got berated in the text chat by the one driver and threatened for the protest and all that kind of stuff. It just, yeah, that just kind of added to it. I got a lot, not let that stuff bother me, but that's something you're never going to see me do here. I may vent about people, I may, complain when they get into me, all that kind of stuff, whatever, but you're not going to see me actually go on and tear somebody apart or, send them messages or whatever. It's just not, it's not what I think's reasonable, not what I want to do. I just don't find that to be enjoyable on anybody's part. Doesn't, this is still a simulator, but that doesn't make it fun, and that's ultimately what it should be for everybody. So yeah, that's my little viewpoint on that. Whether or not somebody actually deserves it, it's just not, don't do it, it's not worth it. So I'm gonna try to come from the back, just tire save, pick up spots while I can. It's gonna be hard to do while I'm in the back, but just try to make the most of it and hopefully give you something enjoyable. At least we'll have cars to be around almost the entire time, and I'll try to not do stupid stuff around anybody this time. Be getting ready to go. We'll see when the leader rolls off.
Okay, Jake, nice and neat. Stay out of trouble.
Alright, we're off and rolling.
Go!
Bad start. I got a little too close to the 15 and then had to check up. This gate's gonna go on by us. Deal, we'll just fall in line. Watch the first lap, cold tires. Don't want to overdrive it, lose the car. And we'll just see what the pace is going to look like and what everybody's going to do, and then we'll figure out how hard I need to push and when to get into tire saving mode. Got one car getting loose on the inside. That is the 20, I believe. It's easy again to do on cold tires. Everybody's going high to get around them.
Okay, we're still in good shape here.
And I drive like an idiot into the wall. So that's stuff you can't do. Just follow the 20 right into the wall. I just, yeah. I've lost all semblance of any skill that I have, and it's just been bad. Session best lap up, just because my all-time best is based on qualifying pace, which is not what you're going to do if you're trying to save tires. Wall hit might have hurt the car enough. Let's see. This is definitely an aero-dependent track. We'll try to execute the tire saving if I can pick up any spots, great. If not, no big deal. Like I said, it's going to be tough to tire save and get through this traffic, but try to do the best that I can with it. See if we can pick up any spots. Good run on the 20 this time out of 2 down the backstretch. Go low, which is not going to be the best way to get into the corner, but try to get spots while we can. On the 20 gets better run on the outside. Guessing he probably drove it in a bit deeper though. We got guys all over the place, 8 trying to work his way up. It's the black car, which you cannot see right now. Trying to work the throttle through the middle of 1 and 2 to help rotate. 20 over rotates, he's going to slow off the corner, we're going to go high. Try to get around him, all 15's slow. Clear him. Overdrove 3 a little bit there. Switch wheel. I got the 20 to the inside now. Here in 3Y call. So we got the traffic. We're going to stay high to avoid 16. No idea where everybody's at. Got around the 16. We got the 15 to our outside still. Try not to wash up in him. He's going to get the run out of 2. I don't know who's going to be faster between him or the 21. Probably the 15. And we got a spin up here. 20's going to dive it in. 4 slow. Trying to avoid everybody. That's going to drop us back from the main pack up front, but wanted to avoid that one. 8 cuts down in front of the 21. We're just trying to get around on the outside. We got the 15 to our outside still. 20 just banzai through the bottom of that one, so we now have to get back ahead of him at some point. Work in the bottom. 15 is going to get the run off of turn 2. 20 gets loose in front. He's going to stall out the 15. Try to use the 20 as a pick. Thought I saw some smoke on my head. Try to work by the 20, although I get loose on the inside. Kind of washed up into him, trying to save it. 15 is going to dive to the apron. I got the 20 turning down. This is not a fun spot to be. I hate being back here in this stuff, and there's nothing I can really do about it. Because everybody's driving crazy aggressive. Like, tire saving has gone out the window. I know we're driving it now, trying to get away from this. Just want to clear the 20. I only got clear of the 15. I just want to get away from the 20.
He's still there. Keep it steady, still there.
We'll set our sights on the cars up front. 13 is going to be going to pit road. Clear the 20, but he's going to try to probably cross underneath. Got the 21 and the 8 up ahead. Going faster than the 21.
That time was 41.50.
Keep working the outside. I'm still entering too shallow for tire saving, but
Still there.
try to get the run now off of 2, clear the 20. Like pushing too wide, barely touched the wall. Think didn't even register as an incident point. Alright. Time to get back into my line, tire saving. Pushed it way too wide off of turn 4. Just need to settle down. Clear of all the traffic, all the problems. Don't know how many more spots we'll pick up, but time to just focus on driving to get myself out of that mess. We got the 4 and the 15 battling behind. Or probably be quick enough to get to me, although he almost gets run into the wall. I don't know if the 20 threw a block or not. He's running side by side with the 15. Clears the 15. I don't know who's been worse, the 15 or the 20. They've both been all over the place and aggressive. Trying to get away from them. 0.4 up to the 21. Kind of getting back into tire saving mode, so if I can catch him, great. If not, no big deal. I think the 11 just might be too far ahead for me to try to catch up to without blasting tires away. Certainly not my cleanest ARCA race, and I'm losing time to the 21, but I I said, I can either figure out how to tire save, or I can
The gap in front is
have
increased
pace and
to
not.
around
So
1.57.
just not a very good combination for me this week. I've just not been able to solve the mystery of how to drive this. Lost about 2/10 to the 11, a 10th to the 21. Not even halfway yet though, so hopefully maybe these guys are pushing their tires a bit too hard and we can try to close back up to them before the end of the race and
1.09.
get another spot or two. I just think 3.8 is going to be a substantially huge gap to try to close up in, like, you know, 7 or 8 laps once we start to get towards the back end of the run and people really feel out where their tires are. The fall off is definitely real.
Okay, Jake, that's good consistency. Keep it up.
Something happened to the 4. I don't see him on the relative anymore. Wasn't really paying attention out the back. Oh, well, terrible 2. Terrible 2. 8 had a worse 2, but that was a terrible 2 on my part, so 1 free spot there.
The yellow.
Alright, so set our sights back on the 21. It's slowly catching the 17. Try to, again, keep tire saving. I don't think a top 5 was ever going to happen with the way that that traffic was in the back. It's lessons learned. Get a good qualifying effort. Don't fight that stuff. Because that was totally not fun to deal with, and I'm still overdriving turn 2. It's the second time I've done that. Got forced not to get an instant point. 17 and 11 are going to go to a side-by-side battle. Looks like the 17 gets by the 11. I overdrive turn 3 there. We got a big wreck up here off of turn 4. That's a lot of free spots. Maybe a top 5 can happen. That just absolutely destroyed the front of the field. Wow, we're up to 8th.
Fuel looks good.
It's
The
3 free spots right there plus a lap car. We will definitely take a look at what happened there. We got 12 to go. Just past halfway. Trying to work the car. Oh man, 3.1 to the 10 who's in 5th. I guess that might possibly happen. He screws up. Racing gods gave me a gift there with that wreck off the 4. Definitely catching the 21 big time. Just gonna try to time this pass as best as I can. I'm gonna try to push the car. We're probably going to get a better run off of turn 2. We're going to have to watch that.
On your right.
Right. Hopefully that'll be a good enough momentum to carry us down the backstretch.
Clear outside.
Alright. So there's 1 spot based on speed. Hasn't happened very much in this race, but hey. Although I probably overdrive turn 3 again. It's just not going to be real kind to the right front or the right rear with that slide. I killed the momentum. 3.3 up to the 10. Have to watch as we go with 10 to go if we can close that down at all.
42.31.
Start a little bit of light brake taps going into 1. Definitely under too shallow. It's been a problem of mine too. Just been cutting in off the wall too early. Ends up pinching the car in the center, causes me to put a lot more wheel versus the right front. And I gotta avoid overdriving turn 3. 11 got really high in 3. See if we can gain any time. 1.3 to the 11. We're gonna keep an eye on that. Try to take a little bit of a later arc into turn 1. I hope keep the momentum up as well as ease the pressure on the right front. Right. Definitely gaining on the 11. Slowly picking up on the 10. Don't know if it'll be enough. Trying to avoid overdriving 3. It's going to be the key to carrying all the momentum down the front stretch. Basically keeping even with the 10, and we are slowly gaining on the 11. Use the throttle there to rotate it down to the seam. Staying just above the seam. 11 gets into the outside wall. Watch that as we close up on the back stretch. He's going to go the same spot as we are, but I'm guessing he's going to be a little bit tighter, so we're going to watch that coming off, try to cut underneath them.
Still there.
I feel like I've got a little bit better tires than he does.
Still there.
Drag race down the front stretch.
Hold your line.
V6.
Keep it here in the middle, try to clear him going into turn 1. I think we should be able to rotate the corner better enough to avoid losing too much. 7's falling back. He's now 5th place. We are technically closing up, but with 6 laps, it's going to take a lot to get to them. So, see if the 7's got damage and not see what caused him to fall back behind the 10. He and the 10 are going to run side by side up ahead. So that's for 4th and 5th. Or no, sorry, that's the 7 and the 14 lap cars, so 10's pulling away. We are closing up to the 7. Felt like I kind of overdrove the entry of 1 a little bit. Watch the rotation in the center, work the throttle. Here is the teal and white cars, the 7. It's drafting off the 14. He's going to be dealing with the 11 now. Turn through it a little bit.
The track temps
5 to go.
It's now 118 Fahrenheit.
Trying to close up to the 7. It's 1.7 ahead. There's an outside possibility we get to him. Definitely overdrove turn 1 there. Too much wheel. Try to work it off the corner a little bit better. We're going to need a big chunk of time each lap to get to the 7, but some efficient corners and we might get there. As he's falling off the back of the 14. 21 gets by the 11. Don't know if he'll be catching us faster or not. It's down to 1.4 for the 7. We're probably going to need another 5/10 lap.
That's good consistency. Keep it up.
Overdrove the entry to 1. Back down to that scene. Definitely good 1 and 2 there in relation to the 7. Catching up on him. That's the only car I think reasonably we have a shot at. Just don't think anything's going to happen to the 10 to get there. A little bit lower into 3, a little loose off. Trying to keep the momentum from falling off. No pressure from the 21. Just under a second now to the 7. Just got to keep having good laps. So we got 3 to go. Oh, that seemed too loose. Killed the momentum there off the corner. Should have been a much better 1 and 2, but I overdrove it trying to hustle it.
Jake, push, push, push. We can get this guy.
Definitely getting there to the 7 though. Got the pace. Whether or not I can keep it up, get to him and execute a pass is another thing. He pushes way wide off of 4. Although we didn't really gain that time through 3 and 4. 14 is challenging the 10 now. 6/10 back from the 7.
That was 42. I take
10
3.
to go. Try to be a little bit smoother through 1 and 2. That's where I've been gaining the most on the 7. A little bit of over rotation, but big run that time. 21 is closing in on us. Work corner, 3 and 4. Decent gain. We're going to get 2 to go. Excuse me, 1 to go this time. Got the run on the 7.
White flag, one more lap. That lap was at 42.59.
He's going to try to protect the bottom, but we're just going to try to work underneath him.
Coming up on here. Keep it steady, still there.
Not wash up into him off the corner.
Still there.
The run there.
Still there.
Running side by side down the back stretch into 3.
Still there. Still there.
Try to keep it off of him.
He's still there. Keep digging.
Hopefully be able to rotate through the center a little bit
Clear
better.
flat.
Alright, we get the run. Wow, did not think a top 5 was possible. It was not going to happen without that massive wreck off of turn 4, but certainly a much better race than
That's the finish. Well done.
the first one I ran, and at least able to, you know, minimize the contact with people. We'll take a look at a lot of stuff that happened because it was quite a few incidents there. It stopped. We'll also take a look at the tires. 21 was catching us. Great job to him. Had to chat down, so sorry if anybody said anything to me. Listen, 75-80 on the tires, not terrible. Definitely could have been probably a little bit kinder with it, but obviously had some of those 3 wide battles in positions I didn't want to be in. I did change the fixed setup load. I went from 10 to 1 on the steering ratio to 12 to 1, and then from -4 on the offset to -12, and took the front brake bias back to 64. I probably could have driven a little bit harder and started using the brakes a little more, and then moved the brake bias back throughout the course of the race, but I was just trying to, you know, get comfortable and run consistent laps with what I had. So let's take a look at the start. It was pretty crazy. So trying to find where we 20 was kind of all over the place. I'm gonna run through this and see if we get there. So we're back at the start. So here's the 20. He's gonna drag the wall. That was the same time when I did it as well. Just get the 4 dragging the wall. That's on lap 3. I want to get to. This is where we're catching the run on the 20 and the 15. I think that was the 16 that got tight. And you also had the 8 pushing. He's the black car there just in front of the 16. So we're going to go to the inside of the 20. Kind of want to watch these first like 3 or 4 laps just to analyze what all happened. Got a little loose there, so it shoved me up the track. I was trying to catch it, keep it straight. This 20 gets the run. You can see the 15 is trying to close back to the 8. 16. Nothing crazy that lap other than the 20 just, like I said, being pretty aggressive off the start. You got a couple people cutting all over the place. So 20 gets loose there out of turn 2, slows down. 15 also got loose. I still felt like going to the outside was the way to go. So you execute the pass on the 20 there, not a problem. Clean, easy down the backstretch. You got the 16 slow there on the inside. Running inside the 15. 20 just sends it in deep. You see him get loose there when he's trying to get back onto the throttle. So, and we got the 16. 21. 15 goes to the high side. I'm just going to try to get by the 16. So this is where I was getting the first 3 white call. Not sure where exactly to go. I knew the 15 was still to the outside. He was staying fairly respectful that way, staying up on that 3rd seam. 16 loses it there. We're going to run behind the 21. Thought he was a bit slower, so as soon as the 15 got the momentum off of 2, I'm now going to look to the outside to follow the 15, try to get to the right side of the 21. Drive it in. And you get the wreck here between the 5 and the 4. So when we had to check up the 20, just dove it in there to avoid that. Let's watch that wreck and see what happens. That'll be a decent one to take a look at. So 5's leading, going into turn 3. And the 4 just overdrives it, gets right into the back and sends around. I mean, I didn't have anything quite that egregious, but that's kind of what that looked like. And then let's watch from V20's perspective when he dives this thing in. And this is where it was fun. So I had to check up for this because the 15 checked up. I was running behind the 15. We see it. We both check up. The 20 just drives all the way to the bottom with no regard. 14 or the 4 is slow, so the 15 is trying to avoid him. I'm staying behind. Yeah, 20 had just no regard whatsoever on that one. So then 16's coming back after he lost it off of turn 2. A lap or 2 before. He's trying to come back into this. We're going to keep working to the bottom side. Got to follow the 20, trying to dive to the bottom to get as best of a run off the corner as I can and get to the 15's inside. 20 gets loose there. That stalls that out. So then I'm trying to set the pick. 20 or the 15 probably could have been aggressive enough to cut down underneath the 20 and been ahead of me, but I tried to set the pick there. And we're going to try to work to the inside of the 20 as well as he gets loose. We both get loose. Maybe a little bit of net code there. I probably shouldn't have cut up, but I expected the 20 to come up a little bit higher. Didn't do anything. And then the 20 just, what starts is net code. So this starts net code. I don't know if he's angry about this. Like, so we're trying to work up. I'm getting loose, trying to catch the car. He gets loose as well. You can see the back end starts to come back in line, and that's where I'm starting to turn out of the corner. I'm expecting him to be a lot further up the track, like more, half a lane to a lane, which would have given me the clearance. And we just barely touch fenders there. I mean, kind of hard on that part. But then we head back down. I dove back down to the bottom to give him the room. And now he just dives back down. It creates netcode initially right here, which then brings his car into me. There's actual contact, so that's going to send him up to the track. 15 is on the apron, and we're almost going to go 3 wide back into 1. So I thought I had the 15 cleared. He drives back on the inside. 20 is going to drive it hard on the outside, trying to get the run. 15 falls back, running side by side with the 20. Trying to do what I can. I'm staying a full lane, almost 2 lanes off the wall to give him the room on the outside. I don't want to get any more contact with him. I'm going to work it back into turn 3. Try to, keep it off of him. I don't know if he overdrove it. 13 had to go to pit road, and that was the point where we were able to get back in front of him. So that was everything off the start, which was, I don't know, the 15 to 20 were just, I guess with a 25 lap race kind of feeling short, and in the back you gotta go, but it was definitely like a really aggressive start. The 20 dove it in a couple times. 15 was, running on the apron. Like, it definitely was really aggressive. I obviously didn't drive my cleanest, but it's pretty crazy there. So let's see if we can get to what ends up happening. Here's the 4 and the 16. Okay, 4's just going to drag quad in. The 16 was going to get it back into him. The 4 is losing the front fender, which is not going to help Arrow. 20 gets into the wall. 8's going to get the wall out of 2 inside of the 21. Yeah, so that's what allowed us to get by the 8. He was really slow. So this is where he dove to the bottom. You're going to see me go by on the outside. Right there. Alright, 11 gets the wall behind. Yep, so that allowed us to catch up. Alright, so the 4's off the pace. Oh man, this is really hard. Let's watch this. Okay, so the 4's off the pace. He's a lap down. He was obviously involved in that wreck earlier, or off of 4. And then the 1's the leader. So the 4's just taking the preferred line. Probably should have gotten to the high side and gotten out of the way. But then the 1 is trying to get by him, trying to move to the high side, and just gets into his right rear. And when you are not directly centered behind somebody, you cannot push these cars at all. That will send you around. So that ends up sending the 4 around. 2's going to skate by on the high side. 14, as the 4 slides up the track, 14's got nowhere to go because he's already fully committed to coming out of the corner. So that's going to send him around. It's 13, right? I think. 19, excuse me. 19 comes barreling in, same thing. Tries to split it, but does not quite hit that gap. Let's watch from his perspective. I want to watch inside the car and see what it looked like if you can avoid that. So he's on the inside. He tries to get on the brakes, but he was really kind of dead. Like, yeah, he could have been on the brakes a little bit more to avoid that one, but where the 14 went and where the 4 is coming off the wall, he's got almost nowhere to go. So not much he can do in that perspective. He gets it, and I think the 3 does get through this cleanly because the 19 sends the 14 further down the track, and the 4 is kind of pirouetting in the center, so opens the gap up for the 3, and the 3 goes there. Who is that? Just the 7 tries to So the 7 also follows the 3 through, splitting the 14 and the 4. But he tries to go low the 19, and he gets the right rear of the 19. Sends him around. And then from my perspective, it was a lot less crazy. You can see. I see this coming, so now I'm just lifting, trying to figure out where everybody's going, and I will gladly take the high side and get by both of them. So, yeah, that's what got me that position to be able to go after a top 5. That was 3 spots right there, so helped out quite a bit. But let's take a look at the results. Like I said, they should be a lot better than the first one I ran, and I'm just going to take that. Pretty weak field, 4 splits, 2485. It's just when I got to run it, I wanted to run it the first night it went live and just did not get a chance. I got something on Monday nights that usually makes it really tough to get any racing in unless it's really late, so it kind of sucks that way, but not much I can do. A little bit of safety rating gain, 0.11. Gained about probably half the iRating I lost, but again, was supposed to finish 6th, only finished 5th, and it's not a real strong field, so was never going to gain a ton out of it to begin with. Lap times were absolutely nowhere near what these guys were running, but that was I was pinched in that traffic. I probably could have run a little bit faster. Probably could have gotten to like the 40.8 range, maybe 40.7. I was just pinched in that traffic. Just tried to deal with the 20 and the 15 as much as I could. Everybody was everywhere, 16 to 2 degrees. So just happy to have made that out cleanly. I know we were way off the pace of the 1 and the 2, the 3, everybody, but just got through that, survived. Trying to rebuild confidence. Redo what I want to do. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. Feel free to leave your feedback of any of the analysis. If you think the 15 and the 20 were too aggressive, or that's just them trying to take advantage of the track position, do what they can. Maybe that's what I need to start doing. I don't know. It felt like a bit of over-aggression to me, but I am learning that I'm pretty passive when it comes to some of that stuff. So gotta probably dial that up a little bit, but hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. Love to hear from you guys, and I'll try to keep grinding out some better stuff for you and pick up the pace a little bit. So until the next one, I hope all your laps are fast, your races are clean, and your finishes are good. Thanks for watching.